Good morning. Welcome to day 13. Today we're going to stitch a sweet Sultan flower, which is an old-fashioned flower with a honey scent. We're going to use a whipped woven circle and cast on bullions. But first, let me introduce you to a few new threads. These threads here on my left are plant-dyed sashiko threads. They are kind of just beautiful colors. And the colors we get depend on the season. So whatever's in season is what they dye. So sashiko thread is a looser twisted thread. It's 100% cotton. And this particular one is about, well, I'd say it's between a 5 and a 3 weight. So it has some body to it. And it's one of the smoothest threads that I stitch with. It just goes beautifully through wool and even through a layer of cotton and wool. So I did use a couple of them. Some of them are more solid colors, some have variegates, but they are very, very soft and pretty to use. The ones on the right here are Angora or Rainbow Angora. And this is another thread that stitches effortlessly through wool. It is soft and fluffy and it has a plush texture, and it can be left just stitched by itself, or I'm going to use a Bunka brush in a minute to show you how you can buff it up and it changes the appearance of the thread. One of the little notions that I mentioned earlier in the week was a little needle polisher, and this is a needle polisher from Koana, and this is my second favorite notion right now. It actually will take every size needle, even as big as our 15 milliners, which is here. You can use that, and you just go in and out like this, and it's got like emery inside, and it polishes and makes your needles so smooth to stitch with, and also it tends to take any little burrs off it. So a very, very handy tool. I have a couple of them, one at home and one here, and each time I use my needles I just clean them up and it makes it much easier to stitch with. So there's another fun little notion that is very popular. So this here is the little sweet Sultan flower, and you can see I used a 9-spoke spoke easy. So I've got it up here. I used 9 spoke at 1.5 inches. So I marked the center and marked these spokes right on the 1.5 inch mark like that. So this is a fairly simple one. It's just using a couple of different threads. I used a size 5 actually to do the spokes. Eleganza 5, like that. And then I wove with 3 different threads. So the first one I did was I continued with the 5 that I did the spokes with, and I did 4 rounds. Then I changed to Angora, and I did 4 rounds of Angora like this. And then I changed to these plant dyed threads and did another 4 rounds like this. So I did it and left a little bit of the spokes sticking out over here. I then came back, and with a size 8, I did a 24 cast on bullion, and then once I had pulled it through, I couched it at the tip. So I did one of those on each one of these like that. So here is the little sweet Sultan flowers, and I did do 3 of them. And this is what it looks like when it's completed. And over here you can see that this is fluffier, and it's made a really nice textural center, and that's where I use the Bunka brush. So a Bunka brush is this little brush that's used for opening up fibers in embroidery. So for instance, I use it a lot with turkey work when you want to open up the fibers and make it very sort of pom-pom like. But here what I did is I just brushed it like this a little, and you can see how nice it brushes it up. Can you see how it opens up and brings the fibers forward, so it makes for this really fluffy center of each of these little flowers like that. So I hope you have fun. I'm filled them in on one side, and we will be back tomorrow with another flower.